Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aries, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week is the Temperance card. I think everybody needs a little bit of temperance after that full moon eclipse, right? How are you feeling after that? Thank you so much for all of you that showed up to the live. So the Temperance card is bringing you balance and peace and equilibrium this week. This may also be a week where you notice that some personal belief of yours has shifted. This might be something that you have maybe thought or felt for a long time, or something that you have subscribed to for a long time is now shifting. It's changing. There's a deeper understanding coming in, or there's an alternate perspective that's making its presence known in some way. Remember, this card is about spiritual distillation, right? It's about finding spiritual purity in a sense. And so this tells me that there is a big shift, a big inner perspective shift coming up for you. This might be a paradigm shift in some way. I wouldn't be surprised as well if you're having conversations this week that have a much more spiritual kind of feel or vibe to them. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. Quick announcement, I have a course on manifesting, basically how to manifest anything that you want. If you know me, if you've been with me long enough, you know I'm always manifesting or conjuring abundance in some way. And this I've created for the Radiant Reality Nation, as I love to call you. And I really hope that you will be there. It goes live on the 7th of June. Don't worry, you don't have to be there in person to attend. There are many details coming up on my socials, so if you want to get on that and be a part of the Facebook group for that course, and for all of my courses actually, you can check that out. There will be plenty of posts and plenty of announcements and stuff coming up for it, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening to that. For your actions and options, you have the 6 of Pentacles. It's interesting that you would get this card, which is a card of balance. And also you've got the card of Temperance here. So the 6 of Pentacles is, for me, it's the transactional nature of things. And because you've got this as your actions and options, I feel like this is you doing something that you probably, like, everyone always says like, oh, you know, Aries is selfish, Aries is all about themselves. Actually, that's not always true. And very often when Aries really deeply care about someone or something, they will put themselves on the line for that person or that thing. And because you've got this with the Temperance card, I actually feel that this could be a moment at which you decide to give something to yourself that maybe you've been giving away for too long. What I will also say as well, that 6 of Pentacles, this may very well be a week where you are called on financially or materially in some way to show up for someone or something. Now, because you've got this sort of paradigm or perspective shift going on, this may be something that you're having to really deeply consider. So take a minute before you sort of just jump in and do the usual Aries thing, right? Take a moment and consider, actually, is this something that I really want? I also feel that this could be either you or somebody offering you an olive branch. So whether you take it or not is completely up to you. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 7 of Pentacles. So we've got a lot of earth here already. When it comes to communications, this may very well be a week where you're finding that your communication is slower than usual. Remember, Mercury is retrograde, so it kind of tracks. But this could also be a time where you're having conversations around things that you've already invested your time, your effort, and possibly your resources in. If something isn't performing as best it could, kicking up a fuss and having a fight about it is probably not going to get you closer to what you would like to achieve. So just take a minute and ask yourself, what is the next best step here? For those of you that are studying or in any form of academia, that Seven of Pentacles, especially with the Temperance card, there's not only a shift in perspective coming up for you, but this may also get you to see that your efforts, or at least your personal intelligence, might be better served elsewhere. So if you're going to change what you're studying, if you're going to change your major or your course of action when it comes to your studies, this would be a good week to really do the thinking around what that might mean. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, honestly, I kind of get the feeling that this may be an apology. I don't know why. I just get this feeling that maybe some drama has taken place at work. Something's maybe kicked off or been a bit weird or a bit odd. And this week I actually feel like you might get an apology. It is the Seven of Pentacles, so there's probably an element where it's like, well, you know what, I'm glad that I got it, but it is too little too late. So, you know, how you approach that obviously is completely up to you. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, I would give yourself a minute to think about whether what you're working on at the moment, whatever is taking your time, energy, effort, resources, etc., if it really is, if it's delivering what you want it to. You know, I'm not talking about finished products or results here. I'm talking about, is it performing at all? If it isn't, this might be a time where you're needing to consider, okay, how much time, effort, energy, and resources am I prepared to keep putting into this? Excuse me. And then for those of you that are retired and no longer working, it's the Seven of Pentacles with the Temperance card. Your greater or new in-depth perspective on things could actually be very helpful and potentially very lucrative for other people. So this could be, you know, for family, for friends. It's like, in a way, I kind of feel like this might be a week where you're called upon as a consultant, you know, which could be great in a lot of ways, especially if it fulfills you and gives you a new sense of purpose. For your love and relations, you've got the Judgment card. So you've got this coupled with that Six of Pentacles. For those of you that are single, that Judgment card, especially with the Temperance card, that could be bringing up old hurts, challenges, or wounds this week. It wouldn't surprise me if you're very backward looking on a relationship. It wouldn't, maybe even one that, you know, isn't even necessarily a relationship that you're in anymore. It could be something that happened a long time ago. This may see you finding a way to purge, or at least pull the smarts or the nutrients out of the experience that you've had. So if you find yourself really looking back over past relationships this week, it wouldn't surprise me. The fact that you've got this as well, for those of you that are partnered or married or in long-term commitments, there's a change coming to the finances this week, whether this is your money or the partner's money. Something about the resources is coming up for change or shift. And so as it does, try to keep your feet on the ground. For your money and materials, you've got the Nine of Wands. Of course you do. So there's definitely a shift coming to the money this week. There's a shift, a change of some sort that's coming to the resources, and it is going to see you needing to get very clear on what is going where, who's paying for what, who is showing up or not, as the case may be. The Nine of Wands as well for money, because you've got this Six of Pentacles. I wonder if this is a conversation around money that has been a long time coming. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Wands, for me, both of these cards can often speak to the immune system. I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but I wonder if there's something in this. Just really look after your health this week, and if you're on a healing journey of some sort where, you know, you're in recovery or maybe doing some sort of rehabilitation for an injury, etc., this is a week where really slow and steady is going to win the race. I know you're an Aries, I know you've got Jupiter in your sign, I know, you know, your ruler Mars is coming into Aries, But even still, this is not a time to rush any form of your healing journey. Just take it as it comes. For those of you that are, and then for your home and environment, the Nine of Wands, and especially because you've got the Seven of Pentacles here, just watch out for the physical self. It's the reason I say this is it's kind of like you could be doing something to the external, to the garden, you know, if you have one, or on the balcony or whatever. And if you're doing it absent-mindedly, you know, your mind is elsewhere, the chances are, touch wood, you may end up hurting yourself. So just really please be very conscious of your physical self this week. I mean, you guys tend to be anyway, but you know, we all have moments where we're kind of, you know, elsewhere while we're doing what we're doing. It's like that moment where you arrive home in your car and you're like, holy crap, like I was thinking about everything but the road at this point. How did I get home? Watch out for yourself, all right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.